Hello my dear health seekers, Inga from Health Origins here, and today, because I've got loads of carrots, we're going to be making Egyptian carrot and peas stew. So let's begin. So I'm heating my stainless steel stainless steel pan until it becomes non-stick. Basically, I'm gonna do a water droplet test in a minute, but let me walk you through the ingredients. So I'm kind of doubling the recipe that I found online. So this is 6 carrots chopped up small, kind of diced. Then I've got 1 large onion, or use 2 kind of small medium ones. Then I've got 1 tin of tomatoes, chopped tomatoes. You need really 2 tins, but because I've only got 1 left, I'm substituting with chopped fresh tomatoes actually. You know me and my substitutions, I'll make it work. Actually, I will also put about a tablespoon or a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste to kind of replicate the tin tomatoes. Then we've got some garlic. So this is actually elephant garlic. So it's not your regular garlic, it's big cloves. So it looks like a lot of garlic, but it's only like 2 massive cloves, but it's much milder than the actual garlic. So I'm going to be using that up. Then we've got 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika, 2 teaspoons of coriander, ground coriander seeds, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And then additional ingredient, and peas. So about 1 kilogram. So there's a lot of peas. So almost the whole bag of peas I'm going to be using. Well, actually, I would use, but Mark already opened this a little while ago. So about 1 kilo, so 500 grams for half a recipe, or about 1 kilo for full recipe. But additional things I'm going to be using is some chard. So there's about 2.5-3 cups of chard, just for extra greens. But also I'm using up the carrot greens. So these carrots came with some fresh greens, so I've just basically washed them and chopped up small, and I'm going to be adding them. So that's obviously, these 2 things are not in traditional Egyptian carrot and pea stew, but I'll be using it in mine. And then I've got some parsley, fresh parsley, to just garnish with once we've got the ready dish. And then salt wise, we're going to be I'm not going to be putting salt except a couple of pinches maybe at the start when I'm going to be frying the vegetables, just to release a little bit more moisture. But otherwise we'll just flavor this on our plate. We'll put salt on our plate, because that way you use much less salt. So this is heating up, so let me do a water droplet test. So you obviously can cook on a non-stick pan as well, but I'm using my stainless steel, so to make it that it's a non-stick, I'm gonna just do a quick water droplet test. So yeah, so see how it's evaporated, so it's not rolling around yet, so that's not ready. It needs to heat up a little bit more. Until the little droplet is kind of swirling around in the pan. So let's do the test again. Yay! See how it's rolling around? Then that is ready now to be frying our onions and carrots. So I'm gonna add them in here, and the carrots. Quite a bit of the carrots, and I'm gonna put a pinch of salt on here to just release the water naturally from vegetables a bit more. It's amazing how once it reaches the temperature, it doesn't stick to the bottom, even though there's no oil. So I'm gonna be dry frying this for about 7 minutes or so. And if it starts sticking, I will be adding a little bit of water, maybe a couple of tablespoons of water at a time. You could also use the stock, because we'll have, I forgot to mention, you need a liter of stock as well, vegetable stock. So if I ran out of water, I can add a couple of tablespoons of stock in there as well to deglaze the pan. And this trick with the salt, actually, when dry frying onions and carrots, really works, because they have released quite a bit of moisture now. Normally it doesn't happen so quickly, but that just worked really great. So obviously, you know, they will cook in their own juices, and once that evaporates, then we might need to be adding a little bit of water. So it's been about 10 minutes. I've fried the vegetables because there's quite a lot of the carrots and onion here. So I think this is good. They are kind of cooked and translucent, more or less. So I'm gonna add the garlic for 1 minute here, because the main thing is not to burn the garlic, so it only needs about a minute frying. So I'm just adding it now for a minute, and we can also add the spices, so the pepper, the coriander, and the sweet paprika. Next time I might put some smoked paprika in there as well, but this time I didn't want to tinker with the recipe too much, because I want to kind of taste the more authentic Egyptian stew. Although obviously with me adding those couple of extra ingredients, it's not going to be quite authentic, but as authentic as I can make it. So we'll give the spices and the garlic about a minute. So now I'm mixing it all through. And we're going to be adding the rest of the ingredients. I'm just thinking, I think I maybe underestimated the amount of stuff that I've got here. I hope it's going to fit in my pot here. So we have a can or tin of tomatoes, chopped tomatoes and juice here. So I'm adding it here, and I'm going to wash the tin out a little bit with the vegetable stock, so that's fairly handy. Then I'm going to add these tomatoes as well. Let me grab some tomato paste as well. So I'll add a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste just to add to the richness of the tomatoes. Then I'm gonna add all my peas. That'll be quite a lot. So these are frozen petit pois, or sweet peas here. Wow, that's a lot. I don't know if I can, I can't fit the rest of the ingredients. I think I'll have to get a bigger pot. So luckily I've got this massive pressure cooker pot that I could use here. So just mix it all up and add the last two ingredients, the carrot greens and the chard. And then not forgetting obviously our stock. So this is just Marigold vegan stock powder that I've obviously put 4 teaspoons into 4 cups of water. So yeah, so this is it. I need to quickly get it to boiling, and then I'm gonna simmer it covered for about 15 minutes. So the Egyptian stew has cooked for about 15 to 17 minutes, I think. Yeah, and it's looking good. So I'm gonna just dish a little bit for myself. because we've actually just eaten, but I'm gonna taste test it for you. And I'm gonna put a little bit of parsley here, and also a little bit of salt, because we haven't really added salt to this dish, although there will be some saltiness from the stock as well. So let me just taste test this for you. This is really hot. It was still bubbling there a minute ago. Yummy. I think the carrot greens definitely added their own flavor there, but it's yummy. Good. Yum. So we're gonna have this probably on some steamed potatoes, you know, later on, or for lunch tomorrow. But this is a good dish, and we've got quite a lot of it, so that should last us. So yeah, so you could have that with any grain like rice as well, or with pita breads. It would go with pita breads too. So if you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of it, if you tried it. If you're new here, welcome, and subscribe for more videos on my channel on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And this month, whole of July, I'm doing 30 videos in 30 days, so you'll see a whole lot more of my videos. And remember guys, food is fuel, so be mindful of what you put in the body. Until next time.